All right, and here we are, my friends. Thank you for standing by and allowing me to take a short break. Welcome to Super Ghouls and Ghosts. I love this game. This is my favorite game. I'm not I'm not perfect at it, as I proved the last time I played it. Uh-oh. Jump is B, and shooting is. You can make jump Y. Who in the world plays with jump as Y? Playing with jump as A is odd enough, but I think some people, I think that I've heard of people doing it. But there we go. So yeah, I'm definitely why jump Y. That's perfect, MK. That's perfect. So I'm going to set our stock down to 1, which means I can run out of lives. And I can run out of continues. That's why we're setting it so low. So that's going to add some drama to the event. And if you want some more drama, consider that I played this like a week and a half ago, and I couldn't beat it. I ran out of lives. I was embarrassed by it. That happens sometimes. Like I said, I'm not perfect at it, but I'm okay at it. You know, I've beaten it deathless twice, and I'm very proud of that because it's very hard to do. I've never beaten it damageless, though. That would really be something. So here we go. Let's just have some fun. I went on a grind last year. I was determined I was going to beat it deathless, and I did. It took a while. There were a lot of times that came really close, and it was heartbreaking to lose it. But I got the deathless run, and then I didn't play it for about a month. And the next time I played it, I got a second deathless run right away. I couldn't believe it. And I've done not very good since then. With the worst showing being last time, but it happens. Might happen again tonight, in fact. We'll just have to wait and see. Ooh, go quick. This fire guy's giving me a lot of trouble. The arrows are actually one of my least favorite weapons. The homing arrows, you may notice that their AI is not very useful. They just tend to target random sprites on the screen. And they can sometimes even target sprites that are not enemy sprites. On stage 2 in particular, there are some background sprites. I mean, technically they are enemy sprites, but they're enemies in a background layer that you can't interact with. But the arrows can lock onto them and target them and circle them uselessly, making you unable to fire for long periods of time. It's the worst. The powered down arrow is actually a pretty decent weapon. It's one of the, like, I don't know. When you power up your armor, like when you improve your armor, you get a powered up weapon. But a lot of the powered up weapons are actually worse than their base form. Ooh, I thought I might have messed that up. Where's the chest? There it is. Whoa! Yuck. That's why I didn't open the other treasure chest. I figured it'd be a bear trap. That was weird. I think there was an extra... maybe not. Okay, better weapon. Nope. Not going back for that chest. When the arrows like do what you want them to do, they're a great weapon, but they're just so untrustworthy. Nice catch. The double jump is one of the things that just makes this game so magical. It's it's a fixed jump arc, but you can jump twice. So that just it's so restrictive and yet so freeing. Nice. That's exactly what we needed. It seems to be one of the things, like, when I try to watch a lot of first playthroughs of this game, and when people are new to the game, one of the things they really have trouble with, it seems, is the double jump. But even though, like, the arc is fixed, you have a lot of freedom because you can change direction with the second jump. And ooh, did you see those glitches? The timing of the second jump, like mastering the nuances of timing your double jump at in different intervals. That's what really unlocks the double jump. And as you develop a feel for that, it becomes a very satisfying move. But it does take experimentation and, like, you know, really developing a sort of innate familiarity over time. After going from the NES controller to the SNES controller, I have to say, the SNES controller is so much more comfortable than the NES controller. I know I'm stating the obvious, but after a couple hours with a rather challenging NES game, you really feel the difference. Those corners were wearing some sensitive spots into my fingers. And now the Super NES controller just feels so very soothing. Oh, that green guy in the background there, that's one of the sprites that the homing missiles can lock in on him when he's in the background and paralyze you. It's really, really terrible. And I've heard from people that the arrows can lock in on things like the lightning sprite and money bags, but I don't know that I've ever seen either of those happen. I can't say that I don't believe it, because, you know, this game is bizarre. Every copy of Super Ghouls and Ghosts is personalized. No, I fired it way too early. Come on, dragon. Finish him off. Nice. The NES controller is, what's that say? Unreal? So I've made this comparison before, and I stand by it. If you know anything about electric guitars, I think the NES controller is a Telecaster. All right, the Super NES controller is a Strat. It's got all the like comfort curves, and it's got like the sort of few extra components to it. But I love the there's just something about a Telecaster. I love how they're just a rough block of wood with just the bare minimum. My guitar is a Tele, but it's a weird Tele. It's a custom with two P90s. It's pretty amazing. I really like it. I'm terrible at electric guitar. You agree? Nice. I'm glad you agree with the comparison. It's been received favorably. It's been received favorably by a couple people. I'm really just a rhythm guitarist and an acoustic guy, more than anything. I aspire to be more on occasion, but I don't really think it's in the cards. But that's alright. I'm a reasonably competent rhythm guitarist, though I'm mostly just a cowboy chords kind of guy. Oh, I'm glad I didn't pick up that fire. I have an old applause ovation. Bit obtuse, but still love it. I never had an actual ovation. Are those the ones with like the sort of rounded backs? Is the applause one of those too? I know that ovation makes those ones with the rounded backs, but I don't know if that's an applause. But I had a guitar. It wasn't an actual ovation, but it was in the style of one, and I liked it quite a bit, except that the rounded back made it really weird for me. It took me a long time to get used to it. It would slide off of my lap all the time. I think those are, you know, the ones that I'm thinking of anyway. I think they're much better for you if you stand and play. Would be my guess, but I can't really do that. I never learned to stand and play. I can't find anything on the guitar when I'm standing up. The rounded back, that's why it's a bit obtuse. All right, yeah, for lap play. Yeah, I eventually got to where I was comfortable holding it in my lap, but it took a while. I was like, I don't know, I was regretting the purchase for a while, but it eventually worked out, and it was a lot of fun to play. I've got an Alvarez acoustic guitar. That was my first guitar, and you know, probably always going to be my favorite because it was my first guitar. And yeah, I really love it. It's aged really well too. Like the wood is really like, it's just settled well over the years. It's got a really great tone to it. I've got a Takamine acoustic electric that was my dad's, that he gave to me. That's objectively a much better guitar, but because it's a little different, I'm less used to it. And then I've got an Alvarez Telly that's just kind of a standard Telly with a few comfort carves on it. And then I've got a Fender custom Telly with the P90s, like I mentioned. Way more guitars than I need. But that's guitarist, right? Yeah, it's pretty nice. Pretty nice. I've got a couple bass guitars. I'm terrible at the bass guitar, though. I've got a PV T40 and a I don't know what the other brand of the other one is. It's Brownsville or something. It's not like a, you know, it's not like a really great guitar, but I really like it. because it's got this. It's got a really good look and feel to it. It's nothing fancy, I guess. Not that a guitar needs to be. Like I said, my favorite guitar is an Alvarez. And I'm sure always will be. Oh, but I bought the Ovation style guitar when I lived in Korea. When I went to Korea, I didn't take any of my guitars with me. I just, I figured I could just buy one over there. If I saved up my money, I could buy a cheap one, and that's what I did. And I actually ended up with a couple of them over there. I don't know what I had the Ovation style guitar. I had a sort of a nice but a plain acoustic. I don't know who the maker was. I don't remember. And I had a Epiphone Les Paul. The Deathless Run is dead. That's not gonna happen. But we are very much still in this. Best level in the game. I don't know if the level itself is the best level in the game, but, you know, it's the snow level. And I'm always going to be partial to snow levels, and, especially when they have... No, that's awful. Especially when they have music as nice as this. I was too scared. I was too scared. Oh no. What a bad move. I don't know if I've ever done that before. I jumped up and killed myself on the ceiling. I just was not thinking. Uh-oh, we're in trouble now. This is I'm scared. I really don't want a repeat of the last time I played this. That's what it's shaping up to be so far. I need to turn this around on my last life again. can't believe I jumped up into those spikes. That's such a bad move. A game that I really like, another game that I like a whole lot. I don't know that I put it in favorites category or anything like that, but I do really enjoy it. Is Magical Quest on the Magical Quest starring Mickey Mouse on the SNES. It's got a lot like it's aesthetically, it's got a lot in common with this game. You know, it doesn't really have the horror theme to it, but it's got a lot in its look and sound that's reminiscent of this game. So I like that aesthetic. And then it's just a good game in its own right. A little challenging in a couple places. It gets a little challenging. But if you kind of like the style of Super Ghouls and Ghosts, and but the gameplay doesn't do anything for you, then Magical Quest might be something to take a look at. Unfortunately, I can't really say that I'm a fan of the Great Circus Mystery, which is kind of like the Sega Genesis version of that game. It's just not very good. The power-ups are much weaker, and some of the level design is much more annoying. It's a shame. It's a shame. I really wanted to like it a lot more than I did. I don't remember the name, but a Mickey Mouse game I loved in the 90s. Wish I remembered the game. Well, there are quite a few Mickey Mouse games, so... Do you remember... If you remember any details about it, I might have played it. I've played a handful of them. I've only done Magical Quest and... Oh, no, that's not true. We've done Magical Quest, Great Circus Mystery, and we did a Mickey Mouse Capade on the stream, but I didn't beat that one. I still have to beat that game. Ugh. Scythe? No way. This guy's trying to back me into the Scythe. He knows what he's doing. No, I'm gonna lose. I fired the wrong way. Ah, we game overed. First of many. An ice bowl fight? That sounds like Magical Quest. There's a part where one of the bosses is on ice skates, and it's in like a half pipe, like a skating rink, and he goes from side to side, and you have to jump over him. There is a part like that in that game. Ripperino. You wear a bunch of different costumes in Magical Quest. There's like a firefighter costume and a magician and a mountain climber. And they give you different powers. If that sounds familiar to you, that might be the one. How'd I get so bad at this game? I swear I used to be good at it. I don't know what has happened to me. It's very, very sad. Eight more shots. We don't give up. We go down swinging. Greg of Greg's Retro Channel is here. Hello, Greg. You've never played this one. The NES Ghosts and Goblins was enough for you. This one's so much better than that one. I love NES Ghosts and Goblins, by the way. But it's no Super Ghouls and Ghosts. The Red Devils are so much harder in this one, though. It only takes 4 shots to kill them in Ghosts and Goblins, and you can get them all in real quick. I actually don't know how many shots it takes to kill them in this one. More than I can deliver. Gotta work in 6 hours. Need a few winks. Have to go, my friend. Alright, sleep well, Doe. I appreciate your company. I look forward to having you with us again. Well, we might run out of continues right here. So much tougher. Yeah, this game is so much tougher. It's not really more difficult in the moment-to-moment gameplay. I would say Ghosts and Goblins on the NES is actually tougher. In a lot of areas, at least. And it's when you're just comparing sort of like overall gameplay. But the final challenge of this game is so much harder than anything else in that game. Ugh. Alright, well, fire it is. It doesn't really matter. I wasn't doing any good with the knife anyway. The final challenge in this is so much more difficult than anything in Ghosts and Goblins that it tips the scale solidly in the direction of this game. And we're not even done. I watched my brother beat this once, and when it said you have to do it again, he just turned it off. Well, you see, that's the thing. People always say that. If you just go through it once, you haven't beaten it. You don't even get to the hardest part of the game if you only do it once. Because you can't do the whole game on the first loop. One loop of the game is nothing. The second loop. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, what I'm speaking comparatively. It's still hard to beat one loop, of course. But I'm just saying, compared to the second loop, the first loop is nothing. But yes, beating the first loop is an achievement. I knew I was taking a risk, and it didn't pay off. Oh, beating that guy with the fire. I don't think I'm going to make it, my friends. It's another time I've ended up in one of those situations and I can't claw my way out. You get punished for doing badly. I need to go back to where I was I need to go back to where I was resetting after every death. That's the only way I can do it. I either play good enough to beat the game in one life or not, or I can't beat it at all. There's no in between. If I do run out of lives right here, I will restart and try it again. The night is young enough. No! He was one fire away from the grave. I said if, I meant when. Why am I so bad at this now? I don't even want this. In the first Ghost, with the first Ghosts and Goblins, if you've only completed one loop, I still don't think you've beaten it, but I think you're closer to beating it. Because the first loop and the second loop are really similar in the original Ghosting, in the first Ghosts and Goblins on the NES. They're really similar. In this one, both loops are basically identical, yes, but the ending, it's all about the ending. The end of the second loop is so dreadful. The thing is, if you don't lose your armor, this part is so easy. It's when you lose your armor that it falls completely apart. If you show up with a gold armor, you can just evict all of these guys without a problem. The castle is yours. Ugh. That's it. I failed again. Oh, we don't have to hit reset. The game resets itself. And I don't agree with I don't agree with you necessarily, Greg. I would agree with you that the second loop in the first Ghosts and Goblins is kind of a cheap move. I would agree with that, but I don't agree with it in any of the later moves. In any of the later games, I don't see it as the same cheap move because when it comes to the later games, they kind of have to do it because the first game established it as a feature. And so while it was a cheap move in the first game, if another game failed to do it, then it would be a wimpy move, and I couldn't respect it. Like, oh, they made the game too easy. You had to do 2 loops before. Now you only have to do 1. Wow, that zombie's really moving. Those skulls are... They're much more difficult than they seem. Get out of my way, zombie. I got places to be. Finally. Oh, I was there for 100 years. I was clean shaven when I got to that skull tower. Now I've got a beard. Beating this in the arcade probably costs as many quarters as the cart would be to buy outright. I think beating a Ghosts and Goblins game in the arcade probably takes as many quarters as the arcade cabinet costs. Oh, they're tough. This one did not start life as an arcade game. The first two did. This one was made as a Super Nintendo game. There might have been, I don't know for sure. There might have been an arcade game of this made for some territories, but this one started life as a Super Nintendo game. The NES one and the Genesis one started life as an arcade game. I've never seen an arcade cabinet of Super Ghouls and Ghosts, though. I guess I should look and see. Because I kind of wonder what the artwork would be like. Gross. Scythe? No, thank you. Yeah. They do. They do. Unless you're like unless you're like a super fan, yeah, these games definitely blend together. And they're all very inconveniently named. Rip the Deathless Run. I wish they could have just called them Ghosts and Goblins 1, 2, and 3. Because you have to be a big nerd about it to keep them separate from each other. I am the worst at this game. I should not play this anymore. I'm clearly not cut out for it. I need a new favorite game. All this one does is embarrass me now. It's Makemura. Isn't this one Dai Makemura? Technically. That should be the Genesis one. I'm not good with the Japanese names. Ah, this one is that Cho? I don't know what sound O and U next to each other make. Ultra Demon World Village. There we go. It just gets more and more confusing. I'll stick with the North American names, Greg says, yeah. I think I'm with you. I have a much easier time sticking with languages I can speak. There we go. Dai Makemura is the Mega Drive one. Then you got one on the... There's one on the Wonder Swan, and there's one on the... There's one on the... Well, there's two on mobile. There's one on the... Master System. That's not a unique game, though. I don't think that's a port. So I guess, you know, that doesn't really count. No, I've never been so sad to see the knife. I skipped a chest back there. I could have gold armor by now, but... I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Golden Axe is at the local bowling alley. You can't play that on a Nintendo system. This guy is gonna tear me apart. Hey, maybe not. I got really lucky. That boss is super hard without magic. But he didn't, he wasn't trying. He brought his Z game to that fight. This was the second game that I played since this was the second game I played on stream, and I actually got my first one credit clear of this game during that stream. I didn't even realize it at the time. I was too distracted by all of the newness of streaming games that it didn't even occur to me that I was doing a decent job. Those days are long gone. You can squeeze through that gap there if you jump right. I've seen other people do it, but I don't know. I haven't learned the trick of it. I'm too scared to try, especially when I don't have any lives. I should probably stop turning all my lives off, you know, and then I could actually maybe finish the game again, but I'm too stubborn. I'd rather not have that. I've heard from speedrunners that if you get an enemy to drop a weapon and you leave the weapon, like I just did with that bow, right? That fell out of a bat, and I left it. I did not collect it. I've heard from speedrunners that when you do that, a second weapon drop is impossible, and that is not true. I don't know why they say that. But you will see more weapon drops. They'll come out of these imps. Right there. I don't know why they say that can't happen. Oh, not only are the weapon drops continuing, but they're getting worse each time. That part of the game is a nightmare. I don't like it. If you time your dragon right, you can get a really quick kill on this guy, but I've never learned the timing. Maybe something like that. Oh, that misses completely. He actually fired his stones upward. It's been a long time since I've seen him do that. That's where I prefer he fire them. I think he knows. I think that's why he never does. That nice catch message has nothing to do with whether you catch the key. It says nice catch if you hold the up button when you touch the key. It doesn't matter. Catching it has nothing to do with it. It's all about just holding the up button. It doesn't do anything, so far as I'm aware, but just tell you nice catch. But it's so silly because it just has it has no purpose, and it's not even true. If I could only hit one fire guy with a dragon, it was definitely the top one that I wanted, so I'm pretty happy with how that went. No, that was so close. I thought it was over. My life flashed before my eyes. I've been really struggling with this part lately. That was so close. This is just a world of close calls. Wasn't made for arcades, but it looks like an arcade game. I mean, they stuck to the, they stuck pretty close to Ghouls and Ghosts for this game. Like, I mean, I say that, but not really. Like, it doesn't really share any assets or anything. But, I mean, you can definitely see that this is if you see them side by side, this is a more polished version of that game in a lot of ways. You can follow their lineage. They all slightly mix up the gameplay formula, though. The second one adds it adds 4-directional firing. And the golden armor, and this one adds the bronze armor in between the regular and gold. It removes the 4-directional firing, but adds the double jump. Another crazy close call. That projectile 100% should have ruined me. Yeah, the Mega Drive one is the easiest. It has an extra checkpoint right before every boss. Like, that alone makes it so much easier. Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection, the newest one. That game actually, like, it could properly be called Ghouls and Ghost Resurrection, because it takes a lot of inspiration from the Mega Drive game. It's actually probably closest of the three sort of the three early games. It's actually closer to that one than it is to any of them. Resurrection's fun. I haven't even completed it. I've completed one loop of Resurrection. It is so hard. That game is crazy hard. Resurrection is great design. Yeah, I wish I... It's kind of one of those things, like, I really want to play it more, but I don't really ever play games off stream, and I really don't... I don't want to put everybody through me playing that game so much. As much as I would need to play it to get good at it. I mean, like, if you thought I play the Contra games a lot, it's nothing to what I would need to put into that game to get good at it. Fighting this guy so inefficiently. There's a chest around here, but I can never find it. It's somewhere It's somewhere around here, but I don't know where its spawn trigger is. I think it's the only chest in the game that I can't, that I haven't mastered. I saw you stream it once, at least I think it was you. There's a good chance. I think I remember you being there, Greg. I think that you were there for the stream when one of the bosses, I was fighting a boss and the boss despawned itself. I might be confusing you with someone else, but I think that was you. I feel like I remember you coming in when I was stuck in the boss arena with nothing to do because the boss was gone. That sounds familiar. Yeah, that was a pretty good moment. That was pretty funny. It's funny because the same thing happens in the first Ghosts and Goblins on stage 3 and 4. I'm not sure about 4. I think on 4, but definitely on stage 3. Sometimes the boss just doesn't show up. You get to the end of the level and there's an empty boss arena and there's nothing you can do but throw your life away. I've been transformed. I'm sure you'll be able to catch it on sale for a really cheap price at some point. A level is so much better with the gold armor. You see that? I arrive with the gold armor and just sail right through. I don't have the gold armor, and it's just, there's nothing I can do. I'm stuck there for my whole life. This game is all about keeping the gold armor. If you lose that, you lose everything. I've done entire streams, like when I was playing Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection more regularly, I would do entire streams of it and sometimes like for 5 hours or more, and sometimes not even make it to a checkpoint. I had some nightmarish times with that game on stream. That's why I'm so scared to pick it back up for the second loop, because it's like right away it's just, oh. And it's been so long since I've played it. I know I've got to face it eventually. I can't leave it undone forever, but I don't know. Maybe we'll take a look at it in September. At least a little bit. I'm planning to do a lot of Switch games in September. Maybe like not necessarily right at the start of the month. That's fine. It's probably on Steam. I played it on the Switch. I don't really use Steam all that much. Basically, I don't use it at all. Okay, that's a good sign. That's good, too. Alright. Focus up this time, Frownie. I got real lucky there. Yeah, that was not timed. That was not timed well. Where did my invincibility frames go? Look at how annoying these bird heads are to kill. Where's the chest? I've made it one level further than last time. That's all I've improved. This is over. What woke him up? Where's the other chest? I don't know what is happening with this game. Bought a Switch for Wrestling Empire? You hate Smash, though? The last Smash Brothers game that I really played significantly was Melee. And not, like, you know, people play Melee really boringly. I think competitive Smash Brothers is really boring. So when I say I got really into it, I don't mean in the way that people get really into it. I spent a lot of time having a lot of fun with it. But I haven't put hardly any time into the others. I'd say that I like them though. I don't have enough time. Oh no, I don't have enough time to beat these guys. No! He threw those fireballs after he was dead. I hate this game. Yeah, timer. As if the game isn't hard enough, you have to play it quickly too. It's a pretty brutal timer too. I don't think there's any way I'm gonna beat this game tonight, my friends. I am just once again I am playing so poorly. I'm gonna see it all the way through to the end, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I've lost faith. I've lost hope. If I ever even had it. I need to just retire, just need to retire my cartridge. I'm no longer good enough for it. Especially when it's gonna do stuff like this to me. Spawns are all out of order now. Speaking of fighting games, since I haven't mentioned it in a few minutes, we played a fighting game earlier tonight. That was the first game on the stream tonight. We played Powerpuff Girls Chemical Extraction. It was a nightmare. It was such a horrible game. Okay, I've got to learn to do that jump. That's all there is to it. Messing around with those fish of the chests, it's become too costly. I actually forgot that you can hit this guy with a single jump with the knife. It's so much easier. I don't know that any of those are landing. Stop with the fire. Go away from my ledge. Go away. I was running out of time. It was never going to happen. I actually kind of want those arrows. That's not right. That's not possible. If you don't take damage, which I did not, the chest pattern is supposed to be weapon, armor, armor. Weapon, armor is impossible. I missed the ladder jump. Oh, I'm in big trouble. I've forgotten why I like this game. All of my happy memories have been replaced with sad ones. Go away from my ledge. Go away from my ledge. Oh, thank goodness. We're finally out of here. That's just the first loop. And sit back and enjoy the slowest monologue in all the world. Welcome to the stream. I am Kailuya. Hope I'm saying that right. Pleasure to have you with us. Apologies for the very poor Super Ghouls and Ghost performance. I don't know what's happened to me. I used to do a decent job at this game, but last couple times I played it, I've just been getting crushed. I'm been grounded to powder. It's breaking my heart. Princess Prin, that's the one. I wouldn't call this poor. Thank you. You're very kind. Oh, it feels so good when you finally win. As awful as it feels when you're losing, when you finally win, it's almost all worth it. We're out of that stage, though. We can have some. I don't know. We can get our second wind now. Feels so good when you finally win. Let the Vikings win once, Travesty says. I can't really say that all the suffering makes the win sweeter, necessarily. But it certainly helps me appreciate it. Make sure I grab all the money bags I see so I can get some of those continues back. Well, not all the money bags I see. I see that one, and I'm not going to go up there for it. I don't even know how to reach that money bag. I don't think I've ever gotten it before. What am I doing? What am I doing? Why would I jump like that? That was a boneheaded move. I shouldn't have done that at all. We can still get our armor back, though. I just have to pick up a few more chests than usual. I missed everybody. Jumping into the fire skull thing. Battering ram? Fired that first bird like crazy early. Oh no! He's inside my sprite. I always want to make that jump. I wish I could jump from that treasure chest to this beam. It never happens, but every time I get here, I go for it and think maybe this time. Maybe just once, the impossible will take place. Like when you see a flight of stairs and you just decide to jump to the landing. Yeah. There's a surprisingly large amount of places in this game where you can do that. Or you can skip a ladder just by jumping. I guess that's, I guess that's what life is like when you can double jump. There's the bracelet. I will not be picking it up. like when you play through the second loop's supposed to be harder in this game, like in general. Like enemies are supposed to move faster or spawn more frequently and stuff. I don't really feel a lot of general, like I said, it's really only the final challenge that that makes the second loop so hard. I don't really feel the increase in difficulty anywhere else except for stage hazards. The skulls that tumble out of the tower on the first stage, they definitely fall a lot faster. And those axes on the first part of this stage, they swing faster. That's the only part of the game where I really feel increases in difficulty. If I could double jump, I'd be in the NBA. I would love the ability to double jump. That would be amazing. Even if I could double jump, though, I don't know that I could, I still wouldn't be able to jump high enough to be in the NBA. My single jump is so weak that even if you doubled it, it still wouldn't be very impressive. Sometimes I think, you know, if every copy of this game were deleted from the face of the earth, and every image and reference to it, I could probably recreate it from memory. Humanity is saved. It's like me with the first Zelda game, Greg says. Yeah, if you had to recreate the first Zelda game from my memories, it'd be hopeless. First Zelda game is a game that intimidates me to play again. I have beaten it. I have beaten it once, but with considerable help and very long ago. So if I ever were to play it again, it would be very much like a first playthrough because I don't remember anything. I remember there's a lot of stuff hidden in caves that are not telegraphed and bushes that are look a lot like the other bushes. So I don't know. I don't know how anything gets figured out in that game. I don't like my games to be too straightforward, but Zelda 1's like bomb every wall, burn every bush sort of approach to design is a little bit too cryptic for me. That can actually be a good thing about it though, because it is nice. Like, it is nice to have the feeling that a secret could be anywhere. And I guess you have to put up with an unreasonable amount of crypticness to get that feeling. I don't know, because I think because while I would say that the first Zelda is a bit too cryptic for me, I think that A Link to the Past is too straightforward and obvious. So I actually don't know where the balance is. Zelda Since A Link to the Past is too handholdy. Yeah, you're exactly right, Greg. That's what I was saying. It's way too obvious. So I don't know. Do bombable walls make a different sound when you hit them with your sword in Zelda 1? Because that's a good solution. If all bombable walls make a different sound like they do in some games. Because then it's not obvious until you interact with it. But if you can use your sword, that wasn't until A Link to the Past. If Zelda 1 had did that, I think that's better than the cracked walls. Because it isn't immediately obvious. It's something you have to search for. But it's not dependent on wasting a consumable resource every time you want to check. I think that would be a better balance to it. I get lost in minutes and Link to the Past. I mean, what's obvious to some people, it's not, what's obvious to me might not be obvious to you and vice versa. I'm sure that, and of course the whole game isn't like that, but I'm just saying overall. Things like the bombable walls, it gives away the mystery too easily. With the cracks. But yeah, I think they could have done a little better in terms of both games. There's some faux cracks that just don't lead anywhere. That's true. You are right about that. And it's good. It's good that the fake cracks exist. But I don't know if that's enough for me to preserve the sense of mystery that I'm after. Well, see, that's what I was trying to get at too, Travesty. Yeah, it's a thing. Like we don't all have the same sort of skill sets, so I 100% agree. If I tried to play against you in a game of Madden, you'd probably score 100 points before I even scored one. If I even scored one. And you get 6 points for a touchdown, right? Not even a field goal. Yeah, I mean, you would demolish me. You would demolish me in Madden. The only football game I've really played much of was Tecmo Bowl on the NES. I had that one as a kid. And you know what it's like when you're a kid and you only have a few games? You play them a lot, even if you're not very interested in them. And that was one of mine. I was never particularly interested in football, but I had Tecmo Bowl, so I played football. I was terrible at it, too. I didn't know what was going on. 10-yard fight. I've heard of that one. I don't think I've actually ever played that one in particular. But I mean, for a guy like me who doesn't know the game, like, they kind of seem all the same to me. My turn to feel dumb. That's where to use that dragon. I don't know how I could forget something so vital to my survival. That was the extent of my video game sports. That in Arch Rivals, I played Tecmo Bowl and Blades of Steel on the NES. I had a cousin who had Mega Man Soccer. And, I mean, if racing games are sports games, if they're not a separate category, then, you know, I played a lot of kart racers. Not really sort of a hardcore sports titles. I played a bit of Beetle Adventure Racing, too. I remember enjoying that. Arch Rivals is great if you never played it. It's basketball, but you could punch the opponents to steal the ball back. Oh no. What console is that for? Assuming it's for a console. And not PC or arcade exclusive. It's an NES game? We're in for another rough ride, my friends. I'm getting to the castle with no armor. I have to fight all those red devils with no power. We're gonna run out of lives again, I'm afraid. I'm gonna try my best, of course, not let it happen, but it's probably gonna happen. I think when I was young, pretty much all of my favorite games were games that leaned toward sort of fantasy elements and aesthetics. I think that's fair to say. Zeldas and Marios, this game. Oh, thank goodness. I was praying for the crossbow before. If you gotta be powered down, the crossbow is the way to fight these guys. 100% of the time. If I ever try and do like a no armor challenge or something like that through this game, whether or not I complete that challenge, like we go for no armor deathless or something, whether or not I complete that challenge is going to depend 100% on the RNG of getting the knife and the crossbow when I need them. It won't really, nothing else about my gameplay will really matter unless that lines up. So in other words, that kind of challenge would be probably a bad idea. Racing games, Rad Racer on the NES and Top Gear 2 on the SNES. Or recently, 80s Overdrive on Switch. I think it's really just mostly kart racers and Beetle Adventure Racing. Oh, and Destruction Derby, we played that recently. That game's kind of fun. It could be better. The Destruction Derby on the PlayStation, the one that we played, is not as good as I remember. It's not as good as I remember the N64 one being, but I think the promise was there. Gonna pass out. Glad I was here. Also wish I had an older brother like Greg. It was cool to meet you. If only we could all be so lucky. Thank you for being here, Travesty. It's been a good time having you here to chat with, and I hope that you sleep well. Thank you again for the sub. I really appreciate your support. This is why a single loop playthrough is so different from from really beating this game. This is why I encourage the second loop for everybody to get the true experience, because like that boss fight, you can just, if you have the crossbow or you have magic, you can just hang back and cheese that boss and it's no problem. But right now, this is where it gets real, because the rematch on this stage, when we have to fight him, we're required to use the bracelet weapon, and that changes everything. My life changed forever when I realized you can stand on this pixel and not wake that guy up. That's a very, very significant feature. Greg isn't subbed. Let me change that. Oh, Travesty, you're too kind. Thank you again. Well, this attempt is now dead because you have to have the gold armor to get the bracelet, and I ruined it. I've been forgetting when people sub and give out gift subs, I've been forgetting to say to everybody, take a key for coming in. That's I owe Travesty a take a key for coming in, and Greg as well. Take a key for coming in. That's why that's why the badge, the sub badge, is a key, because of this game. I've been dropping the ball. Oh, there's nothing else we can do, so come on, ghosts. Did you see me hesitating there? I was actually tempted to pick up that scythe. The scythe's magic attack is actually not terrible. It creates a pair of tornadoes that... Uh-oh. Oh, it despawned. The scythe creates a pair of tornadoes that sweep across most of the screen. And it's a pretty decent attack. Had to reset your browser? No worries. I don't think you missed anything significant. Just me losing my armor and restarting. Let's see how things go. This bracelet is not 100% terrible, but it's also not very good. It's pretty strong, but it's got a somewhat frustrating trajectory, and it has no magic associated with it. The worst thing about it, though, is that it's required for this fight, and it can only damage the enemies when you fire it at maximum, well, not maximum, but when you fire it with a double jump. And if you, every time you double jump, you're super vulnerable. It does more damage based on proximity, too. Like, you really want to be close to the enemy, but... I think I should also specify, gold armor bracelet is pretty decent. The second you get hit, it becomes a really bad weapon. Because it loses all of its strength and range, and its ability to eat enemy projectiles, which, I mean... that just makes it complete trash. Without those features. I know every time I play a game like this, I know I say a lot of the same things and explain a lot of the same things. And I apologize to the people. Like, I'm sorry if you're here frequently and, like, I mean, a lot of you probably already know this kind of stuff regardless of my stream. But if you've been here especially, you've probably heard me say the same things like 80 times, but I just never know who's lurking, and, you know, for the first time, and might be interested in the trivia and the intricacies. And I want to make sure everyone knows what a rough battle this is. I'm also gonna run out of time. I didn't run out of time. It's a miracle. We beat the game. Oh, thank goodness. This is the first time I've been able to beat this in a while. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. You didn't beat the game. There's still another boss. This guy's not a boss. This guy's a victory lap. This guy is a final boss in the same way the first Goomba in Mario is a final boss. He's got a super predictable pattern, and he doesn't even have a hitbox that can damage us. You can jump right through his dumb blue face. Victory. That's it. We're out of here. I've seen this pattern in Japanese games. The many times Japanese games, the last boss is easy. I'm actually okay with that pattern. I actually like it a lot. Hey, thank you for the 10 bits, Kyle. Thank you for the I'm sorry, Kyle. Kailuya. Sorry. I'm sorry. Final boss. Had one person call me Kayla. Most common one is Kahlua. It's okay, I find I repeat things several times in my recorded YouTube videos too. Point something out once, then a few minutes later, forget I'd already mentioned it. I'm totally down with which Kahlua is delicious. You know what it is? I have to agree. Is it a Final Fantasy IV reference? I'm so completely ignorant of Final Fantasy. I know I need to correct that, but I don't know. I don't know when it will ever happen. Thank you for the stream. No problem. Thank you for being here. I appreciate the follow and the bits. Very kind of you. We are wrapping up. I'm just while this is playing, I'm poking around Twitch here and seeing who we might raid. There are a couple people that I follow live, but the thing is, they're playing stuff I haven't played yet, that I have to avoid spoilers for, or stuff that I just don't want to watch. So, kind of looking around to see if there's anybody new we might consider dropping in on. I was excited for a moment. I was like, oh, someone's playing Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Can't very well go raid my own stream now, can I? Sorry, I know we have a lot of dead air here. That's why I'm poking around. I can talk about what we're going to be doing on the stream. So we finished a Powerpuff Girls game earlier tonight. That means we're moving on to a Scooby-Doo game as our jank marathon continues. And like I said, we're going to be starting up, I think it's Night of 1,000 Frights on the Xbox. The original Xbox is what I plan to play next. My Xbox, like I said, my Xbox is a little temperamental, so I might have some difficulty getting it to run. But if everything works as planned, that's going to be the first part of tomorrow night's stream. And then for the latter part, we're going to be working on Alien 3 on the Sega Genesis. Sort of a long overdue, continued first playthrough of that game. And on Thursday night, I'm expecting it'll be more Scooby-Doo at the start of the stream. But, more Pikmin 2 for the latter half of the stream. All right, well, let's go with this, I guess. Thank you for your patience, my friends, as I looked around for forever to find a target there. I'm going to push us in the direction of this person. Retro Gaming Vault NL. I don't recognize the game they're playing. It's a shoot 'em up type game. Looks like it's a Genesis game. It's not something I've played before, but also not something I'm likely to play, so it's probably not that bad if it gets spoiled for me. Thank you for the hydrate, MK. All the usual disclaimers apply, though. I don't know the streamer. I take no responsibility for the content that we find on the other side. If it's horrific, I'm going to unhost and bounce immediately. It's all on them. I don't know what we're getting into. But they look like they might appreciate the raid. They're either a smaller streamer or a newer streamer. Still building up their followers. So they'd probably appreciate that we give them a look-see. Based on their about, says that they like to do no death runs and that kind of stuff. I like those kind of things, so maybe we'll have something in common. But thank you very much for being here, my friends. As always, greatly appreciate your company. And I really hope that I'll get to enjoy having you here on the stream again in the very near future. Maybe as early as tomorrow night. But if not then, sometime very soon. That's it for me for tonight, my friends. We're heading out. It's time to go on an adventure.